हम लोग हर्षित एक
Oh,
हाय गुड इवनिंग
hi. Shiv, is it Shiv you connected?
Yes, it's connected.
Alright. Hi, Yasin. This is Yasin. Is that the right way I'm pronouncing your name? Yasin?
yes Yasin.
All right. So, Yasin, is it possible for you to share your screen or can we do a video call?
Yeah, is it okay?
Yes. Okay. So, brief introduction. I'm Satyan. I lead the database services for the account for which you are interviewing for. And we have Shiv with us. Shiv is our database team lead.
Okay.
So it will be a by interview where Shiv will check your technical competencies, and I'll just look at your delivery and operational competencies. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready to start, can you start with a brief introduction about yourself, Yasin?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Myself Yasin Basha. I'm an Oracle database administrator. Having 6.2 years of experience as a DBA. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm currently associated with Dell Technologies as a contract position since last year November 2022 till date. So prior to that, I have worked with Accenture from August 2015 to September 2020. So, by roles and responsibilities as a DBA in current organization Dell, daily we are performing migrations from one data center to other data center, from non-ASM to ASM, from standalone server to grid environment. We are also applying the grid patches every quarterly. So also we are updating the O patch and JDK versions, DB home patches. So we are applying every quarterly. So latest we are also performing the patches and all. We also configure the data guard and for the new environment, like it is we are migrating the data center from new data center. So we did completely environment setup. So we configure like 6 node environment, grid environment, as well as data guard configuration. And also we performing monthly database refresh from production to non-production. So we also monitoring like daily data guard is if you are after configuration, like we are checking the data guard is synchronizing or not. Is there anything gap is detected? So every environment is working for particular not. So we are also checking like after the upgradation. So like we also performing the upgradation from 12C database to 19C database. So we are checking daily like connection issues. Database is up and running or not. Database status will be checking. So we also check that archive log, sorry, alert log file. So we're more regularly monitoring alert log file and finding the any errors you are finding and find the root cause analysis and fix it. Those kind of issues. And we also did like previously I worked with Accenture. They as a WebLogic admin. I also supported as a WebLogic admin and IFS system engineer. So they're also doing like WebLogic admin, like restarting the servers, like middleware servers, especially in HTTP server, managed server, SOA server. So these are the servers will be restarting and performing the middleware support also. Also done IFS application part, like doing the deployments and all, and the DB part as well, like checking the table spaces sizes. If there any size is going to extend, we get alerts we are using OEM is the monitoring tool that we can check daily alerts. So based on that alerts, we'll check those any issues like if there any jobs are failed, any cron jobs are failed. So we get alerts. So we'll fix those kind of issues. So daily and also perform the backup and recovery operations. And yeah, these the daily activities that we are performing actually.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll have Shiv talk to you for some time. If there is something, then I'll pitch in. Okay,
Okay.
Shiv, you can start.
Okay, Satyan. Hi, Yasin.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Yasin, can you please let me know that what all the database size that you are monitoring right now?
So we are monitoring like the biggest database is 29 terabytes. That we have the one database in each application. We have the six environments like Dev, Sandbags, Perf, QAS, QAV. So each every environment have one database is the biggest database like ECC application. It is 29 terabytes. That's the database that we have. Remaining all are two terabytes and three terabytes. Each environment we have the 8 databases currently. So like 8
Okay.
into 6 like
So I
48
think so.
databases. Yeah.
Okay. So you told that you have performed the data center migration, right? That you are
Yes.
performing right now.
Yes.
Can you please let me know from what OS to which OS that you are going and the what version that you are migrating?
So currently from 6.7 to 7.9 Red Hat Linux that we are using. 6.7
On both
version
the
to Red Hat.
environment?
Yeah, from both the
On both the
environment.
environment is Linux only, right?
The Linux environment only.
Okay, and database from which version to which version?
From 12C to 12C only that we did. First 19C we installed the grid environment. Then 12C to 12C. Then we are performing the upgradation now. The migration part is completed. That we are performing from the 12C to 19C database after the
Okay,
migration.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So right now, have you upgraded the database from 12C to 19C or you are
Yes.
in a process?
We done. We did for the some environments. Still we have the production. Till perf we
Okay,
done. Still
it's an
production.
okay. The 19C is multi-tenant or it's a normal.
Normal only. We are not using multi-tenants.
Okay, okay. So can you and what method that you are using for upgrading the database from
Uh,
12C to 19C?
GUI process only, but first before that we check the pre-checks and all. Like pre-upgradation, pre-upgrade.jar is the pre-upgrade script will be there. So it will, if you run the script from the pointing to the 12C home, it will give the pre-upgrade fix up SQL and post-upgrade fix up SQL and also some pre-upgrade log. So based on that log, there is a manual fix will be there, like any parameters issue, any table space issue, or any XDP. Is there any streams are there? So streams it won't support. So we need to remove all those things that we have to perform manually. Then we start the process like by DBA. So we'll check there and every part going the GA part we'll uncheck the listeners and we have the backup plan separately. So we uncheck all and process them continuously by GA process. So we have the manually also we did for this someone like by using a DB upgrade script. It is an RDBM
Okay,
upgrade.
if
Yeah.
suppose one scenario if I will give you that while upgrading the database, okay, it went fine till 80%, okay, and after that the DB upgrade got failed.
Okay.
Okay, so how you are going to fix that issue?
So if you go, we can check the alert log file. So it will give that exactly error. So what kind of error that it's failed. So we'll try to fix that issue. If you are using GUI process, so if you can fix and go to a retrieve, it will continue the process. Or else, if it is completely closed, you can check fix that issue and then run the DB upgrade script, DB upgrade and -p and give that parallels that it can start continuously. It resumes
Okay, so
from where it started.
as you told that if again you'll reinitiate the DB upgrade, right?
DB upgrade
So
icon.
it will start.
No, no,
Yeah, it
it
will.
will reach reach a call and it's done already validations are there. So it will continue from where it stopped.
Okay, okay. And I think so. You told that you are every quarterly you are applying the RU patches, right?
Yes, PSU
Okay, on the
batches.
gray PSU patches. For 12
Yes,
it's a PSU, for 19 it's an RU patch.
yes, RU batch, grid RU.
Okay,
Yeah.
so right now you're applying the patches on 12C or 19C as well.
Yeah, 19C grid and 12C home. Right now we are using.
Okay, okay. So can you please explain me on a grid environment how you are applying the patch?
So normally,
You are applying in one shot for both the grid and Oracle Home, or
no,
one
no.
by one you are applying, or how you are doing?
Normally we have the 6 node grid environment. So we first applying the grid patches. So by one we check first node, and then we can run the next node onwards. So if we fix that. So previously we have to check the pre-checks first. So we have the command like OPatch pre-check, pre-request check, check conflict against the OH home details. So that will give all the information about Oracle versions like OPatch version, JDK version, Java version is compatible or not. So this is the patch, which patch have the requirements, or which it can be have or not. So it will give all the information about OPatch pre-request. We can give that command like check conflicts against to OH details and pointing to that Oracle home and the unzipped location, the software location, the patch location, and then we can check system space as well, and then we can run that OPatch auto resume. Sorry, OPatch auto apply.
Okay,
So first we have the analyze and everything will check. So minimum pre-checks we have to perform. Then we can run by one node by one.
okay. So you told that you configured the DR as well, right?
Yes.
So are you performing any DR drill on those DRs what you configured?
Sorry, DR in the sense?
Means have you performed the switch over, switch back, or failover, or
Yeah,
any
we
method that you
we
would
we
use?
have only switch over, not fail back option is not configured in our environment. So we have the only switch over configuration, and we are using the data guard broker. We did switch
Okay,
over as well.
okay. So you are doing both switch over and switch back, or only switch over you are doing?
Switch over and switch back also while we tried like both options for the application point of view. So how in our environment how it is means we have the grid environment but single instance like every you would not have the rack environment, the grid environment. So we have the switch over to one node to two second nodes. Each database have the two nodes switch over time. So normally only the CRS CTL only relocate the resource from if the one node is busy or one node is not participate in the grid environment, it automatically shift to the second node. So we have to configure the data guard also like that only. So if it is, we have rechecked for both times, like we not get any issue after the after the DR configuration. But while doing the installations only, we configured and tested back switch over and switch back also.
Okay, so can you please let me know what all the modes are there in data card?
There are the three modes like data guard protection mode and maximum availability, maximum protection, and maximum performance.
Okay, what is the difference between maximum availability and maximum protection mode?
Both are in sync mode only, but maximum availability it should be like at least one synchronized. We have at least two synchronized nodes we need for the maximum availability. So, like what do you say? The primary database cannot write its to reduce to at least one synchronization if it goes down automatically.
Okay,
And it's a maximum protection mode if the database if it cannot be transfer the data, so automatically it can be shut down the database until we can configure. It won't do any transactions further. Should be sync in the primary and standby. If there is any gap, it automatically shut down the database.
okay. If suppose there is an huge gap, so which background process will take care of that?
Use that like MRP process only if it is give the huge gap, it will find out which log is not applied, which how much log it will be there. So that media record process, it's identify and reduce since it's not there, and false or false client will it cannot be it's, any connection between it's lost the connections. There is no network. So it have the huge gap, so it's not in sync mode.
If suppose there is an huge gap, then how you are going to recover that?
If it is a huge gap means
How
it's
you will change the
we
DR?
need we need to identify the current SCR number for the database that how at what time it's there. So we need to recover from that based on that SCR number at timestamp, and then we have the recreate the standby control file and copy to standby side and create startup database in no mount and mount, and then connect to the RMAN and give that like recover database. It can be recover the database from the last SCR, and then once it's all come, we need to apply the MRP.
Okay, suppose due to any reason on DR the archives are applying is very slow. So how we are going to perform that?
It's very slow in the sense it's reasons behind that, like the
It is
archive.
taking a longer time to apply the archive process. Sorry, the archive should be applied on the DR.
Okay.
So what method you are going to use and how you are going to fix that?
Like there is one parameter there in the data guard program. I seen that the time delay. We need to change the time delay options.
Time delay is a different part. Okay.
Okay.
What I'm saying you got my point, right?
Yes, yes. That's it's taking slow time. So we
Yeah.
need to check the server performance in that case. So how much time it will taking if you check that like disk space is full. So we need to check that one. If the disk space is full, also it will take some time to clear the archives, and then we need to apply the next that, and we need to check that performance about that server, how much it's taking time.
Okay. For example, okay. You have to move your data file from on production from one location to another location.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
So for that primary database, you have configured your DR as well.
okay.
Okay. So R, if you are moving on the production, is those moving of data file will be reflected on the DR side?
Yes, it will be reflected on the layer side as well. If the set standby file management is auto, it should be reflected in the DR side as well.
Okay. Suppose you are in your application, one of the database and is there, okay, and by mistakenly one of the application has dropped one table. So how
Okay.
you are going to recover that table?
So we need to find that time, at what time the table has been dropped. Based on that, you can connect the RMAN and recover that particular table at based on timestamp.
Okay. So you are going to perform the recovery on production itself.
We can perform in the we have the actually proxy server database there. We can perform there first, and then we can perform from DR side also. So even you can perform in the primary also. It's not much reflect the particular table.
Suppose it's an as the when you're going to start the recovery of that particular table, okay, and there is a huge load on the server, the lot of jobs are running.
Yeah.
Then in that situation, how you are going to perform?
Uh, in that case, we can perform from the DR side. You can stop the MRP and do it from the DR side. You can
But
recover it.
the table is also not there in the DR, right? So how you are going to do that?
Uh, this
And your
situation,
DR will be in the mount. The DR will be in the mount state. In mount state, you are going to recover the table.
we can open the DR side in snapshot standby database. We can
Okay.
open the
Then
database
after
in
that,
there and we can recover from there. And then after then we can apply it. Or switch over also we can do it.
okay. Suppose your 01 data file got dropped. How you are going to recover that?
So we can identify that file in the recovery. We have the recover underscore file. The dictionary view will be there. So there you can find which data file we need to recover. So 01 in the sense it's system or syssox will be there, right? So we can we have to first offline the data file and then we can recover from the
So system data file, is it possible for you to take a data file offline? System data file?
system data file. I'm not sure, but okay, we can perform it using the system data files. Not sure, but we can do it. That's offline.
Okay. Have you performed the data pump?
Yes.
Okay. If suppose you have to refresh one of the table from production to dev, and the table name is different, so how you are going to perform?
Table name is different. Means then we can export the table and remap underscore tables that we can give that give the new name.
Okay. Suppose for example, one of the table refreshment your request has been came to you. Okay. And the table size is of around 200 GB. Okay.
Yeah.
And on the location where you are going to perform the table backup, that data pump, and on that particular location you left with only 100 GB space. So how you're going to perform that?
In my environment, they have one BR tool, BR connect tool. It will resize the compress the table actually. Or else we can also use the data pump. There is a compression equal to all. We can mention that it will compress the table as well. The dump
After
file can
compression,
compress.
after compression also the table size is showing 150 GB. How you are going to estimate the size of your file while using the data pump?
The estimate only the parameter will be there, so you can give that.
Okay, so after that, how you are going to perform if 150 GB is the table size after compression
So
and the
we'll
space left?
yeah. In that case, we can check with the OS team to increase that disk space, or you can add the new mount point, or we have the other option like to keep the dump files in multiple locations that you can check that.
Okay. Uh, have you worked on performance tuning?
Not much, but I'm aware of that. So we are doing the migrations. This is the only last. So I'm not get an opportunity to work on the performance, but I know I do like some explained plan for the SQL statements, long running query statements for those
Oh,
and generating AWL reports and analyzing that report.
okay, suppose you from the application team you got an mail that's saying that this particular query is it's a long running query. Okay,
Okay.
so how you are going to start your investigating on that particular long running query?
So we'll first explain plan for that statement. We'll check how it going to read the statement, if it is using any index or not, or any asterisk symbol used, or where clause is not used. So we can check that one and how many physical reads happen and how much soft parsing and hard parsing is going on there. So it will give the full estimation on that explain plan statement. So based on that also you can generate a regular report and find it how that time meanwhile it is running any background jobs are running, any backups are going on there, any other load balancing is going on backend. So we'll check for that one. Based on that we can inform to the developer and say it's happened because of due to this, and they will fix it. Suppose if even sometimes the indexes also in it's a rebuild option like index is invalid state, so it can't use the indexes, so we need to identify that indexes and rebuild that index, and we inform to the developer, they will rebuild the indexes as well.
As you told that have you performed the cloning activity?
Yes.
Okay, so suppose if you want to clone the prod database to one of your dev environment, so how you are cloning?
First we'll do the server validation, and then if everything is fine we can first take the zip file of the binaries, oracle binaries, and move it to the new location, and we can attach the home first and then relink all. It's the binaries will come all there, and then we can start the cloning. So we'll set some parameters like here db convert, file name convert, log file name convert, some parameters there, and based on that we can generate a p file first, copy to the new location, that will new server, and based on that we can change that parameters as well, like control file location and some archive destination, some dump location. So we can check like that, and then we can connect the armn and run from the armn, like duplicate target database to dev environment from active database. You can give this command from the armn, so it will copy.
Okay. So is there any method that if you're not going to use a duplicate?
Normally, we performing the ASM JMD to CP the commands. We can give the CP only. Mostly, we can copy the put the database in hot backup mode, and then copy all the database files, control files, log files, and then we can take a control file as a text format, like in trace to control file, and take a stuff from startup no mode to characteristics till end. We can create that from the new server based on that
But is
control
that
file. It will
but
be
is
created.
that feasible? Okay, but is that feasible for you to take your database or data file table space in a read-only mode, and then you have to start your offline backup and everything? What you're performing?
Sorry, I didn't get you. read-only mode.
You're putting your tablespace in a begin backup mode, right? And copying the data files.
Yeah, database in begin
Okay.
backup mode. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that be okay for your environment? If
Uh,
if if it's an critical environment is there for you, are you going to take your tablespace in begin backup mode and you're copying the data file and the data file size is suppose 30-40 GB. You're moving that file transferring from one server to another server through network.
yeah, yeah, if it is same data center, it can be the faster actually. So if it is not, then we can go with the backups from the RMAN only that we can perform it.
Okay. Suppose there is a request that comes to you from the application user. Okay. The backup which has been happened, which you have taken is on Friday. Okay. And the user is asking to restore the database coming Monday.
Okay.
So how you are going to perform that on Monday? Suppose at 4 till 4 p.m. He required the backup should be get restored in your native environment.
So we have the last
And
backup
today is
on
Wednesday for
Friday.
last backup is on Friday. Today is Wednesday, and
Okay.
application user is requested to restore the database till 4th of 4 a.m. Monday.
Monday. Okay. Okay. In that case, we can find the current SCN number based on the timestamp. You can find the SCN number and restore the database from that SCN number.
Okay, from where you can find the SCN number?
From the control file, like we need to identify with based on the timestamp we said, right? So select the state. If we give the timestamp date, and then based on that, we can select the correct SCN number from Vidala database. From based on the timestamp, it will find that SCN number at that time, and that from that time we can give the command.
Okay. Is there any other method?
If it is incremental backup or normal full backup.
The full backup is on Friday. After that, you are getting the incremental backup.
Okay, in that case, first we need to backup from the full backup, and then we need to apply the recover from the incremental backup onwards.
Okay. What is blockchain tracking?
Blockchain tracking, it's uh, the new they say the blocks, how much blocks are affected from the like taking a block. Arman will take the blocking, like which blocks are modified, so that blocks only can be taken as a backup.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Yasin, I done from my end. Satyan, is there any question from your end?
Yeah, sure. So, Yasin, what is your current team size?
We have the total 6 members as a L3 support we are doing, and we have the L1 and L2 also. There also each team have the five members as the DBA, and the L3 support have the six team.
You're part of L3.
Yes,
So, do you have an L4 or you
no,
guys are the, so
we are the
you guys have to do the architecture, build and upgrades and everything, right?
yes.
Uh, okay. You did mention that you do have experience with building data guards. How many sets of data guards do you have?
Total 6 environments in the production only we did. Total 8 databases. How each database on each one standby node only.
Like, what will you do if a database is swapping?
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm just giving a scenario. What will you do if on the server you see that your swap memory is going a little higher? What are you going to do?
Swap memory for the particular database. Okay, we'll check that swap memory normally free -g. So how much memory it's taken and how much is free. So we'll check that and which database is going to take. Actually, the SGA parameter will be defined that how much it can be keep for each database. So for that database, we have the SGA how much is allocated, so that it cannot take more than that. So we need to check that SGA parameter. If it's not sufficient for the particular database, we need to increase that SGA parameter. SGA
But, but what if it's a problem with memory leaks?
memory
Yeah.
links.
You know what memory leaks are? That's okay. Whatever. All right. One last thing. So let's say one of your users will says that I can't connect to my database, Oracle database. So what are you gonna do?
We'll check that database is up and running or not. So by giving the PS-grep it shows the database name. So and we'll check the database status as well. So by selecting the open underscore mode from Vitala database. So if the database is in read write mode, so it should be connected. So we'll check that listener connection issue. Like we'll ping the TNS ping and database name. If it is pinging, so we'll inform to the developer that's what's happened from your end. So can you please clear the cache or you can check the connection what TNS entry that the host name you are using, the port number you are using. So based on that, if it is both are same from their end, we check that can connect from the based on TNS entry. So given the TNS entry, if it connected, so we are good to from the DB side. So they have to check from the application side. So what's happened from there? Any issues?
Okay, what if the user is connecting with SQL developer?
Sorry, SQL developer.
So the user is using SQL developer to connect to the database.
Okay.
And until yesterday, he was able to connect. Today, is unable to connect.
So that's the only the issue with the network connection issue. So we need to check that network connection issue. So it can be connected or not. So they based on that VPN, they is suppose VPN they are using, so should be connected with the VPN. So we have to check the network connection. There's a problem with the network only.
Extension to that question, Satyan. Okay,
Yeah.
Yasin, for you.
Yeah.
If suppose the database is in hang mode, that how you are going to perform then?
The hang mode. So if it is the best because of the there is no space on the disk in the server. So we need to check that mostly the when archives are disk is full, it happened. Mostly time we are also facing that issue. So we need to clear that archives, the old archives, which is taken backup, which is expired backup, which is expired archives. We need to remove from the server.
Okay, suppose your disk location is also okay, then
Then we need to check that the database data file size as well. So if the system table space is full, it cannot perform any transactions also. It cannot connect
that
to
is
databases.
that is also okay for you then.
Still, it is in hang mode means it's where it's happened. Like we have to check that recovery file. Is there any recovery files are there? Any disk is full.
No, I am
It won't
asking
give any
you
error,
if
but
you for the I am asking you for the hang mode. I am not asking for your recovery.
okay.
Database is a hang mode and application is not connected to the database.
Okay.
Then how you are going to perform? Then what are the steps that you are going to take?
The most thing in the database is can you can connect or not? We need to check that one. So if you can connect,
Yes.
that means it can be connect anyone. If it's not
You
connected,
are
still it's
not.
in yeah. In that time, we need to check the TNS. I mean listener connection issue or server issue. So we need to restart the database in the most of the time. So because of it is in hang mode means most of the time should be have any issue about the network or any other issue or any yeah, that's the only thing. If the disk is full or if
Suppose
the archive disk is full, then only which
no
will
no
be
no
hang.
no. Okay. One more question for you. Okay.
Okay.
Suppose in particular server you are having 8 databases up and running. Okay.
Okay.
So how you are going to find that which database is busy?
Which database is busy? Okay. So normally we can identify with active database like PS-grep it can be show which databases are busy, which databases are connected. So that should be correct from the well grep it.
No. Okay. Suppose one of the due to your CPU utilization is on the higher side. Okay, for one of the database.
Sorry.
Your one of the database is using more CPU. Okay,
Okay.
so how you are going to figure out?
More CPU. So yeah. Normally, you can give like the SAR command. So in the Linux, you can say that which one it is. SAR or pop
Okay, no
command.
problem,
Yeah.
no problem. Satyan, you can continue.
Few things before we finish this up. So, do you have any experience with Oracle applications,
No,
Yasmin?
no, no.
Okay, anything apart from Oracle, like SQL Server,
Uh,
MySQL?
no, I have the IFS application. This is also one of the applications that I have the knowledge on that. Even we did deployments of the application deployments.
Okay, and monitoring tool, I assume you're using OEM.
Okay.
Are you using OEM?
Yes, we are using OEM.
Okay. And okay, that's okay. Since you are doing only Oracle, so you only manage Oracle instances with OEM, correct?
Yes.
Cool. I think we are done from our side. Do you have any questions for us, Yasin?
Yes, I want to know the roles and responsibilities of which position is required in the
All
project.
right. So what? Yeah, sure. So right. Let me start with what we have. We have around 50 terabyte of databases. With acquisition, we're gonna acquire 20 terabytes more.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just Oracle databases. We have SQL Server as well. So the responsibility would be not only Oracle. You have to manage non-Oracle databases. Like I'm not saying like an L3, but at least as an L1.
Okay.
So with this, what we try to achieve is we try to create shared resources. It's good for us. Like during holidays, if we need only one person to backfill, we just need one person, right? We don't
Yes.
want every person to be working on holiday. Um, then you will be. We are looking at a senior Oracle DBA,
Okay.
primarily an Oracle DBA, with may or may not have other skill set,
Okay.
and he should be open to working in other technologies as well. We don't want an SME who is only an Oracle guy, and SME will say, I don't want to work in non-Oracle databases. We don't want those kind of team members.
Okay. Fine.
So I guess we are open to working in other
Yes, of
database,
course.
expand your skill set as well, right? Okay, cool. So anything else, Yasin?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Cool. Thank you for your time. Nice talking to you. Bye, Shiv. Bye, Yasin.
Bye bye.
Bye.